So come with me now, back to the most familiar passage of comfort that we have. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. I think I told you before, I'm from up north. I didn't understand the purpose of green pastures. But where there are green pastures, that means that there is life. Mm-hmm. And where there is life in the pasture, that means that there can be comfort for those in the pasture. My mother's people had a lot of land. So my uncles, we would go down to the pasture, but their pasture didn't look like what I read right here. There are a bunch of trees and a lot of brown grass and a lot of holes and some mishaps there. So, but we could go and hang out under the tree and get lost all day long. But I'm understanding now that when you are going through some things, sometimes you need the comfort of a green pasture, a place of comfort, a place of solitude. Oh, to have run through your mind to sit down underneath a tree in your favorite lounge chair with your glass of sweet tea or red Kool-Aid, such as it be. A slight breeze, listening to water calmly rustle, will calm the nerves. Coming up, there was a commercial on TV, and there was a lady, and she'd had a rough day, and she'd just holler out, "Calgon, take me away." Well, if the Lord is my shepherd, yes, sir, and I shall not want, that is just like that commercial. Lord, come, take me away. I started to do the PowerPoint, but if I could borrow the PowerPoints of your imagination and allow me to paint this picture for the next few minutes. I want to show you, and I want you to get in your mind the picture of the shepherd and your relationship with the shepherd. The shepherd is the caretaker. He is the provider. He is the great protector. When I'm hungry, he's the one that feeds me. When I'm nervous, he's the one that calms me. When I'm lost, he's the one that guides me. Oh, the Lord is my shepherd. Yes, sir. And if the Lord is my shepherd, what is it that I want for? What is it that I need that he hasn't already fathomed in his mind and already got there for me? The Bible says that he leads me beside still waters. You understand that there's a difference between still waters and waters that stand still? There's a thing of dormant waters. You can go out and dig a hole, and if it rains, and that hole gets full of water, it has nowhere to go. It's dormant. It just stays there. So it has no way to clean itself. It has no way to purify itself. It's just there. But the shepherd's job is to take his little sheep by still waters. On top it's still, but underneath it's a whole lot of stuff going on. Sheep are timid animals. If they go past water that is rough and ruffling, they will die of thirst before they enter in to drink. It is the shepherd's job to understand what my sheep are able to deal with, what my sheep are able to take care of, and I'm going to take care of them. So when they're thirsty, and I know that they're thirsty now, I'm going to bring them right here by this brook. Underneath, the brook is moving, and it's moving very fast, but on top, the sheep don't even see it move. Sometimes we go through some things in our lives. We go through some things, and on the outside, on the surface, we're smiling. We're all dressed up, hair laid to the nines. But down deep inside, it's something really going on with us. Folks look to you for comfort and they find it, but they don't really know what's going on underneath. Why does he do this? The Lord has his own reputation to take care of. He does this for his name's sake. Can you imagine David the king penning this down, not from the king's perspective now, but from the sheep's perspective? Because he's the king of the nation. He was the shepherd, but now he's writing as if he were the little bitty sheep that needed some taking care of. He said, the Lord's my shepherd, He's my caretaker. He's my provider. When my enemies come against me, he's my shield around me. Isaiah said that no weapon formed against me shall ever prosper. David has asked the Lord on many occasions, be my rock. Shield me from my enemies. Lord, don't let my enemies triumph over me. Well, why does David keep going back to the Lord with this request? Seems like to me that every time he goes, the Lord delivers. You're going to keep going to somebody that can't do nothing for you? That every time you got a request, they fail you? Every time you need a service done, they can't provide it? No, David said, I'm going to the only place that I can go, yes, sir, that I know I'll get what I need. Yes, sir. Well, listen, as if David was the sheep. He's bragging to another sheep. I don't know about your shepherd, but this is what my shepherd does. And then all of a sudden the conversation turns. David stops talking to the other person and he starts addressing the Lord. He said, even though I go through the valley of the shadows of death, I fear no evil. Why don't you fear evil? Well, I don't fear any evil, Lord, because you're with me. Every little boy fantasizes that his daddy is the strongest and baddest daddy in the neighborhood. That's how I feel. It don't matter what goes on. If I got a scrape, a scratch, I need mama. But if there's bumping in the night, if there are things going on, I need daddy. Why? Because he is my protector. And even though I get scared, as long as daddy is near, I ain't scared. If daddy ain't scared, ain't no need of me being scared. Why? Because he's got it under control and I'm under his control. Yes. David said, I'm going to walk through this valley of the shadows of death. Give me just a few minutes and let me give you 3 points. If I don't get to them, you'll know where I was trying to go. I want to show you, first of all, the victory in the valley. I want to show you the reason for the rod. And I want to show you the security of the staff. There's victory in the valley. A valley is defined by the dictionary as a low spot between two higher spots. Mountainous areas of Palestine. Some shepherds were fortunate enough to have 2 plots of land. One was right there at the house. All winter long, their sheep would graze right there at the house. But you know, sheep aren't real smart animals. All they want to do is graze. So if they graze and they graze in the same spot, they will graze it until it's ungrazable anymore. So during the winter months, the sheep would graze at the house. The shepherd would have to move them around. And then when spring times come or when summer come, he would take them from the house and he would move them to another plot of land that he has. And this plot of land would normally sit in a higher region where the snow has already started melting down. Do you understand that snow is water? And when the grass has water on it, it grows. And so he would take them up there. Now, the shortest way to this plot of land was to go straight up the side of the mountain. But straight up the side of the mountain had inherent dangers in it that the shepherd couldn't see if he was on the mountain. There are predators to little bitty sheep. There are mountain lions and there are vultures, there are snakes, and there are poachers looking for the weak that they can devour. But if they walk down through the valley, if you ever looked out and you look down and you see your shadow goes ahead of you. It's not you, but it casts the very image that you are coming. And if someone approaches you, you may not see them, but you'll see their shadow. The shepherd's job was to recognize the shadows that he would see from up above. He can tell that all the mountain lions are out. I got to take count and watch over all the sheep. The buzzards are out. They're starting to swarm. I got to go do another count. Maybe the sheep somebody's falling by the wayside. But church, every now and then, we've got to do inventory of the body. We've got to look out and see what shadows are lurking around, because evil is ever present. Danger is ever present. There are homes falling apart. That's danger to the body. We're inundated with all kinds of problems, and we're not dealing and addressing these problems because nobody's paying attention to the shadows. Yes. Although I walk through this valley of the shadows of death, I fear no evil. We understand that we're going to go through some trials. Into each life, the songwriter said, some rain must fall. And when the rain falls, there are dangers even when the rain starts to fall. You understand that sometimes rain creates soft spots. And when a soft spot is created, anybody ever been from the country, been stuck in the mud? Your car sat in a soft spot, and the weight of it has caused it to sink, and now you're trying to get out, and all you do is spin and spin. That's a danger spot. You try to rock it and you can't get out. You try to rock it and you can't get out. Now you're really stuck. Danger's about us. But here's some things now that we may go through our valleys. But don't let the valley be the end of your journey. Because down in the valley is not always a bad spot to be. Because when the shepherd moved his sheep from his house to higher ground, this was the time that the sheep and the shepherd had bonding time together. They had opportunity to live and to walk together, because along this journey, they had nothing to depend on but him. If the Lord is your shepherd, when do you spend quality time with the Lord? When do you bond with the Lord? Oh, it would be great to think that while it's cheery, all I'm doing is praying and singing. But you know, sometimes you don't do your best praying. You don't do your deepest singing, your best singing, until it gets rough on you. You know how to call on the Lord when illness comes. When you've got more months left and you've got money, you know, really, you can put your prayers together then. While you're focused, because there's something going on that you cannot handle. But don't let the valley scare you, though, because it's down in the valley when you start to grow. Off the side of the mountain, when the snow-capped mountains began to melt, the water starts running down the side of the mountain. Well, water will run until it either evaporates or finds a stopping point. The stopping point sometimes is when it hits the bottom. Well, if the water's running down the side of the mountain and it goes down until it hits the bottom, what does water do? It makes stuff grow. Your best feeding for your sheep are going to be down at the bottom of the valley. It's a longer route, but sometimes we've got to take the long way around to get to where we're trying to go. So I had somebody that's been in the valley before. Somebody that understands that I've been down, but my journey led me to higher ground. Oh, we often talk about we want to get higher with Jesus, but sometimes before you can get higher with the Lord, you've got to go down low. He's got to meet you in a low spot. He's got to be able to give you that undivided attention. He needs that undivided attention so that you can hear him whisper to you, so that you can recalculate your steps. Every time that we fail at something, it's not necessarily failure. Sometimes it's just regrouping and to get a better game plan. Les Brown says that a successful person is a person who can go from failure to failure without ever losing enthusiasm. Sometimes we can have a trip up sometimes, and there we are, discouraged, sad forever. Why not be encouraged? If this didn't work, but I've got opportunity to go back to the drawing board and make a better plan. I'm not going to get past the victories, y'all. But at the end of this journey, when we go through this valley, we understand that the valley holds with it a passageway to getting someplace that we want to go. Wish I was talking a little faster. I really would like to get to the rod and the staff, but I'm going to go on and let y'all have this for tonight. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want, is my bragging point. My comforting point is that no matter what I do, no matter where I go, as long as I have spent quality time with the Lord, I don't fear any evil. Our quest tonight is to stop fearing evil. Well, how are we going to stop fearing evil? We're going to start developing a better relationship with the shepherd. We're going to start developing a better relationship with our protector. We're going to start developing a better relationship with our provider. And there, our fear for evil starts to diminish.